What's up, boys and girls? This is a quick video on my experience with the OnePlus 6T on Verizon Wireless. So just to break it down, quick background, I was on the Samsung Galaxy S6 for quite some years. I think that's like a 3-year-old phone now. It's been a great phone. I don't have many complaints about it. The only complaints are just that it's way out of date, starting to get very slow, always running out of memory issues. I think I had the 32 gig version, so, it's constantly deleting apps, deleting photos, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you can manage that well with Google Photos and all that, but yeah, in general, it was time to switch. So I've been looking at all the flagships, the new iPhones, new Samsungs. They're just freaking expensive. And I've been watching this company, OnePlus, and my God, they were making great hardware. The phones looked great, looked like great user experience. The only problem was it wasn't available on Verizon. So here I am in a family plan with unlimited data, all that kind of stuff. Like, have the good rates with Verizon, good network. But yeah, the phone wasn't available for it. So I've been watching them, I've been waiting. Finally, the 6T does work on Verizon Wireless, and I can prove it. I have it. So this is my quick rundown on what happened. So, it came out about 2 weeks ago. I pretty much ordered it within that first week. Got it delivered to my house. Went to my Samsung phone, popped out the SIM card. Went to this phone, popped in the SIM card. It worked for the most part, but here's the deal. So I could make an outgoing call, I could make outgoing texts, but incoming calls and incoming texts were not working. So there is a fix for all that. I'll get to that in a second. But the other thing I did just on my own here from home after receiving the phone, so yeah, it was all very stock at that point. OnePlus does have an application, and it's called OnePlus Switch. You basically install this on your previous phone. It's already on this phone. It's pretty slick. I'll hopefully have some videos of me actually doing this. But yeah, you basically, on this one, you say, I'm the new phone. On your other phone, you pull up the app, you say, I'm the old phone. It'll come up with like a QR code thing on this phone. You scan it with the old phone. That'll sync them up, and then you can choose. You can go through a whole list of things to say, I want to move over photos, I want to move over messages, apps, all this stuff. Each one of those things, like applications, you can actually go into it and unselect ones, because I had all kinds of crap on my old phone that I don't really need, or didn't need, or don't use often. So I didn't want to move over unnecessary things. So only check the ones that were really necessary. Yeah, and messages, that was a huge one, because I don't know, sometimes you want to go back and see something somebody said a month ago, and if it's not there, then that sucks. You're like, oh, I don't have that message anymore, or I lost that photo, or whatever it is. Yeah, you use that application. It basically does a Wi-Fi direct connection between the two phones, and you just sit them there. Most of the stuff moved over very quickly, I would say within a couple minutes, and then the messages is what took the longest. I think it took about 15 minutes to move over all my messages from one phone to the other. But that's cool. You just let it sit there, do its thing, and when it's done, everything's there. So that was pretty cool. So basically, I got on the chat with Verizon Wireless. They kind of didn't know what to do. They said they had heard of it. They said, oh, you probably need a new SIM card. So go into the Verizon Store. So next morning, I think, go into the Verizon Store. I give them the rundown. Here's what chat said. The tech, he takes the phone, he's like, oh yeah, I saw one of these yesterday, no problem, I know what to do. There's a feature called CDMA-less, I don't know, CDMA_less, I guess. It's a feature on the plan itself, or on your line. It's a feature that they had to enable. And yeah, so he's like, I know what to do, I'll hook you up real quick. He takes the phone back, goes into my account, he's like, I have a problem. I can't get to the setting. The setting that I need, it's not there. It's not there on your plan or your phone or your line, whatever it is. So he probably spent a good hour trying things himself, bringing other techs over, trying to look at it, calling other stores that were in the nearby area. I don't know what the deal was. Finally, he called their own internal tech support. So the tech support to the tech support. And magically, within 5 minutes of them being on the phone, they got it worked out. They enabled that setting, and boom, started working. Incoming texts, all that stuff were good. So yeah, it's been good. The phone itself is great. It's super fast. I don't, I can go into, I guess, a more detailed video about that. I'll put up a more detailed video after I'm using it for another week or two, regarding my experience with the overall phone. But yeah, it does work. You just might have to work with Verizon a little bit to get it to work up front. Hopefully they'll work all that out within the first few weeks, because it's probably a very new thing for them. So one other quick thing. This was kind of an issue at first after I started using my phone for the first day or two, but there was an easy workaround for it, and actually I'm much happier after making the change. So with their default messages app, if you have a group text chain going on, you'll see this thing at the bottom. It says multiple messages, each recipient will get an individual message. And I'm like, at first I saw that, I didn't really realize what that meant. So I'm like replying on the group text chain, and then somebody responds back and is like, did you mean to only send this to me? And I'm like, what do you mean? And then I look, and it's like it broke that reply off into individual threads to those people. And then it's like if they reply, then they're only replying back to you. Hence, there is no group texting. So I was like, that's a problem. But after a quick search on the OnePlus threads on their message board, they just said, go get this other application. So it's just Android messages or Android Messenger, no, messages. And it works perfectly fine. So I'm not sure what the deal is there, if it's just an oversight within the OnePlus Messages app, but there is an alternative, Android Messages, and actually I like the app way better in terms of messaging. There's all kinds of little features when you go to text. It gives you Google search directly to animated GIFs and stuff like that, so all pretty cool. Anyway, I'm happy with it. It's an easy workaround. You just install the new app, make that your default Messages app. Group texting works fine, so boom. So that's about it. It was a pretty easy switch. Only hardware switch you have to do is move your SIM card from the old phone to the new phone. If you have problems with that, I would try and just work through the online support, because it is just a software change that's behind the scenes if you're not getting those incoming text messages. So I would try and push them as much as possible to say, I know this is the solution. I need CDMA-less remove added to my plan. So yeah, that was my experience with Verizon Wireless and the OnePlus 6T. All in all, it's working. I can say it's great. Yeah, don't pay $1,000 for a new phone. This one rocks.